out with reality TV where they let cameras in their homes to record everything they did. So, you know, and I'm speaking of the Osbournes, Ozzy Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne, Jack Osbourne, and Kelly Osbourne. And the Osbournes have been with us for a long time. It all started with Ozzy, Black Sabbath. I'm a huge fan. I've been a huge fan of Ozzy, and anything that Ozzy does, I follow. And it was cool to see the different side of Ozzy, right? Because I remember seeing Ozzy in concert, going to the Ozfest to watch Ozzy. I've been a fan of Ozzy forever. And when I was able to hang out with them, I had the honor and privilege to be able to hang out with Ozzy when he was admitted back into San Antonio. And the reason I say admitted, because he was banned for a while. And that's all cleared up. And it's great they did that, because they showed that on Jack and Ozzy's reality show. So they cleared that up. They gave San Antonio some love. You know, they went to the Alamo and did all that. So it was cool to see that side. The other side of Ozzy, where they would have the reality show, you would not see that Ozzy that was on stage. You would see the home Ozzy, where he loved his dogs. He loved to hang out and talk about, stuff with his kids. He made you laugh. They were crazy neighbors. It was amazing. I'm glad I got to see that, experience it. But then you saw the rock and roll Ozzy again, the rock god. So that was cool, right? Seeing that side. And then, time goes on, right? Right? Life happens. And Ozzy was in an accident. I think it was an ATV accident. And I think he rolled over and the thing landed on him. The ATV landed on him. And it gave him a neck injury and I think a back injury. So he was injured pretty bad. So Ozzy was never the same after that. So he ended up getting a surgery. And he's talked about this on his channel on Sirius XM, Ozzy's Boneyard. And he talked about that he wishes he would have never did that surgery because it messed him up.
Because what's happening, what they've discovered, the neck has been fixed, but below the neck, there's two vertebrae. When the bike hit me, and the disintegrate, there's nothing left of him.
But Ozzy was never the same after that. And then he was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
You know something? I never think about it. I don't go, I got Parkinson's. Because it's so mild. I mean, it's ridiculous. If I don't take the medication, I tremor a little bit in the morning. But I don't feel okay. I mean, as long as I take the medication, I'm fine.
So you feel like, and I guess for people listening, it's more the spine injury that's been hindering you versus the Parkinson's.
Absolutely.
But that was another hit for Ozzy. And then the paparazzi was coming around and, kind of just, how it is in Hollywood, right? Where you walk out and you go to the store, people got the cameras and they want to sell that footage or pictures to TMZ or whoever.
I want to give your father a chance to live his life without being photographed going in and out of doctors' offices and headlines saying he's dying and he's got this long to live. I don't want that. I don't want that every week. I want him to have a life. Shut up. I want him to have some dignity, a life, and we can do what we want more in England than we can here.
That's what it's about in LA, right? Like, who's who? What are you doing here? What can you do for me? And with Ozzy's condition, he was looking pretty bad there. And I remember seeing him and, you know, talking with friends around me going, hey, so what do you think about Ozzy playing Power Trip? Because you know that's coming up. Power Trip is AC/DC, just all the big dogs, Guns N' Roses, Judas Priest now. Yeah, just all the big dogs. And Kelly and Sharon were on somebody's podcast, and they talked about how heartbreaking it is to not be able to see or even talk about that Power Trip tour, because Ozzy he's taking it really hard. He feels like everybody's moved on and he was left behind. And that's such a horrible feeling. Because just a few years ago, on one of the Jack and Ozzy's reality shows, he was on a treadmill just going at it. I mean, he just that's what he did when he woke up. And before he went to sleep, he was just doing that. Now he can't even do that.
Well, you showed me you got a footage of me going in the surgery.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the most disturbing things to me. The footage of Dad going into surgery. He was dancing. He was listening to music, literally lifting both hands, headbanging, going into surgery. And then when he came out, has been unable to do what he was doing going into surgery after.
Mm-hmm. I know.
And I still can't do it.
No.
Who knows what else is going on with Ozzy Osbourne? But whatever he's going through, the fan base, the Ozzy Osbourne fan base, is 100% behind him. I've said this already. Ozzy has nothing to prove to us. He has nothing to prove to you. He has nothing to prove to me. You don't have to sign your posters. Ozzy doesn't have to go to a premiere. Ozzy doesn't have to sign autograph. Nothing. Ozzy doesn't have to do shit. Ozzy can just kick back and be Ozzy now. But you know what? Once you let something that you love go, and it's not by choice, I think it affects you, and you really start going down just a different path in life, right? Because Ozzy is not physically able to do what he was able to do a few years back, and he's talked about that if he wasn't out there, because this is the case, is that the only way that his manager, I think, would allow him to perform was in a chair. And Ozzy's like, no, if I can't do a show my way, walk across the stage back and forth, wet everybody with the water gun, throw some buckets of water to the crowd, wet everybody, wet myself, crank up some music, enjoy myself, then I don't want to do it. I do not want to sit on a wheelchair and do a show like that. And I said that, please, Ozzy, when this came up, because Dave Grohl did a chair, a throne, Axl Rose did it, and they had broken legs. So, yeah, I'm like, no, if Ozzy can't be Ozzy, then don't kind of haul him out there and say, okay, here, Ozzy, here's your area, here's your microphone, go ahead and sing. I don't think that would have worked. I didn't want to see that. I've said that. I didn't want to see Ozzy in that capacity. That's not how I want to remember Ozzy. And I'm not knocking him. I just love him. I got to spend some time with Ozzy. I got to talk to him. I was bumming his cigarettes, his Marlboro Lights. Even lit it for me. We were sitting there smoking cigarettes at the Freeman Coliseum and talking about random stuff, drinking Heinekens. It was so cool. I will always remember that. So that's why I defend Ozzy Osbourne on their new podcast, which will be released The first one will be released in September 12th, which is right around the corner. And I'm sure it's going to generate lots of great numbers, right? It's going to generate lots of great numbers. And I'm not hating on that. I know that when a good podcast comes along, it's going to move. It's going to move the needles. And that will, because Sharon's already talked about how they can say the F word, they can say this, they can talk about that, whatever they want to talk about, they'll do it. And they will.
He's licked my brown eye. I've licked his.
Can we stop talking about tossing salad, please?
And Ozzy just makes it funny. He's still at it.
Well,
think there's something
people
wrong.
lick arseholes. So,
Yeah, but not every day.
well, some people do.
Yeah, that's facts, Mum.
What?
It's facts.
It's a fact of life.
I never fucking licked an arsehole.
Even though he can't be himself, I'm sure, and when he sits down at night and there's nobody around, he just is like so bummed out that he can't be on the road. But you know what? It's okay, Oz. I know that you love doing what you're doing, right? And you can't be the Ozzy you want to be. You know it. You've said it. So you're cool, man. Just entertain us, entertain yourself, enjoy your grandbabies. Kelly just had a baby. Jack has got a couple babies. I don't know if Amy Osbourne has kids. I don't know if his other son, John, has kids. I mean, who knows? But he's got a lot of babies around him. But I think a majority of those are Jack Osbourne's, because Jack's been busy doing that. And they talked about that. His mom's like, he's like, where does the time go? He's like, well, you've been busy making babies. So, yeah. Jack is not that little kid that was on the Osbournes show. Jack is a grown-up. He does things now. He does good stuff, too. He does... I love the paranormal stuff that Jack is doing, because I'm into the paranormal reality shows.
All right, I'm gonna go sensory deprivation for a little bit. Serious? Something legitimately just came and tugged the back of my shirt while I was sat there. Did you guys see that?
He does good stuff. The cool thing about Jack is, even though he can have anything that he wants because he's Ozzy's son, Jack is not that kind of guy. He's like, you know what? I want to earn it. I'll do it on my own. Whatever. I'm sure that Jack is like that. Jack Osbourne is not like, hey, Daddy, can you take... No. He does good things. He did produce that show they did together where they traveled around the country, and they did a few series, on that. And it sold. It was good. Funny. They went to a lot of cool places, a lot of different episodes. Those things are ageless. Like, you learn a lot of things about Ozzy, and you learn a lot of things about Jack.
You don't realize this, but you literally pissed your way into American history books. Apparently, when people go visit the Alamo, they ask more questions about you than they do about Davy Crockett.
Bunch of cool episodes on there that were shared. So yeah, I mean, when you say the Osbournes are coming back to podcast, it's very exciting news. I can't wait for episode 1, because when they, I'll show you the promo. So there you have it. Like, the new Osbourne podcast coming out September 12th. Get ready. Like they say, get your popcorn ready, because it's going to be crazy, of course. And I can't play any Ozzy music, because if I play any Ozzy music, they'll ban my video. So there's like, you just got to like hum along in your head as you're watching this. But I appreciate you guys kind of, following along. It's stories like this that I talk about, that I have some kind of insight. Just like I said, I've had a little bit of time with Ozzy Osbourne, and I'll share my experience. I'll talk a little bit about it. I mean, I have pictures and stuff that he gave me. and I hold that, very close to my heart. Personalized stuff that he gave me. And Ozzy Osbourne was he is such a great person. And I'm just glad I was able to share time with them. It was cool. Yeah. So when I started this podcast, I said one thing. I said, Ozzy, you don't owe me anything. You don't owe anybody anything. You have nothing to prove anymore. It's okay. Because Kelly talked about that they can't even talk about the Power Trip Festival or anything of touring because Ozzy doesn't like it. He gets sad. I saw a picture of him on IG and he looked happy. He was with his grandbaby. I think it was Kelly Osbourne's baby. And it's great to see Ozzy in good spirits. And I think that's what he needs right now. I don't think you need to be on the road. I don't think you need to be trying to, entertain thousands of people. I think you're right in the place you need to be, and that's with your grandbabies, your beautiful wife, and your kids. You've already done everything. And we have everything you have proof, man. We can go back and watch, Speak of the Devil. We can go back and watch the videos and listen to the albums and the CDs and the cassettes. We can do that, and it's awesome. It's never going to go away. So Ozzy, we love you. Just like you say, I love you all. And that's why I want to go out with this. It's like, there's nothing to prove no more. You're good. We love you, Ozzy. Stay put, man. You're good. Enjoy your life every day. At Johnny Compian on Twitter. And you can also support the podcast show on anchor.fm/Johnny5150.